Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Monday, November 23rd. I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to hop right into it because it is the last week of our squat cycle. And actually, by what I mean by that, we had our last week this week. This is the test week. So, essentially the last week. We're going to start out, we're going to do our dynamic range of motion. Then we're going to hop into 3 sets of 15 wall balls. 15 wall balls, 3 long breaths, 15 heavy Russian kettlebell swings with 3 long breaths, 3 rounds. So we're doing 2 different movements with our long breathing exercises today in the warm-up. All right, so do your 15 wall balls unbroken, 3 long breaths in the transition to the kettlebell swings, knock out your heavy kettlebell swings, 3 long breaths in the transition to the wall balls. Then we are going to retest our back squat. This is the 9th week, 10 total of this whole cycle. So we started out, we tested our 10 RM, then we tested our front rack step-ups today, then we took 8 weeks, either did 10 rep max step-ups, 10 back squats, it's early, and then, or front rack step-ups. So we're gonna see how all that work paid off today. Everyone will retest their 10 RM squat to see the improvement that they've made over the last 8 weeks. Once we get done with that, you're going to drop to 40% of your back squat max, your 10 rep back squat max, and you're going to retest your front rack step-ups on both sides. The goal here is to get 10 reps on the right and 10 reps on the left at 40%. A couple of things may have happened while we're hanging out, or while we were doing this. For those that did front rack step-ups, you will most likely see an improvement on your 10 rep max, a pretty substantial improvement. And you may see some balance happen from the difference that you originally had in that. Given that the weight's going to increase, you may find that it's still difficult to hit the 10. Hopefully, you can now hit the 10 that's required on each leg. And you may find some imbalance, though the original imbalance may be a little bit more leveled out. So if you had a pretty gross imbalance, meaning like 3 or 4 reps, maybe it's closer to 1 or 2. So you should see some of this stuff start leveling out. Those that did back squats, you should see a substantial improvement on your 10 rep max. We've already done 2 weeks over the weights that we originally started with. So this week shouldn't be any different. You should probably be able to increase 15 to 30 pounds higher than where you were when you ended up. When you retest your front rack step-ups, what you may see, given that we've now increased our strength, our single leg strength may not have been able to keep up with that. Let's hope that it did if you were able to do it last time. Let's hope that your single leg strength kept up with that 10 and you can, or with the 10 RM, and you can still hit the 10 and 10 on your right and left side just like last time. We've been doing enough unilateral work in between with split squats, single leg RDLs, those kind of things, to potentially aid in keeping the balance and improving the balance of these single leg step-ups. Just take a note of that. Don't be super bummed or anything like that if you see some imbalances happen after working diligently over these last 8 weeks to get these new numbers. Once we finish that, we're testing our pull-ups. We've been working really hard on pull-ups too, so we're going to hit a max rep pull-up and see any improvement there. If you're able to do strict pull-ups, hopefully this jump has made a 1 or 2 rep difference for you. The closer to 0 that's going to be, the more difficult that may be, but let's see what we've improved on working on pull-ups for a pretty good amount of time too. Then we're going to do some accessory work. 3 sets of 10 pin lay rows and 10 Romanian deadlifts. So the pin lay row, you'll have your barbell. It starts from the ground away from the body, but in a deadlift-like position. And then we pull the bar up to our rib cage, come back down, touch the ground with the weights. Right here every time. We really want to avoid big heaves, okay? So just keep the weight somewhere that you can just pull nice and easy, squeeze the shoulder blades in the top. Using that same weight, or you can add a little bit, no big deal. We're doing 15 RDLs. The idea is that you use the same weight. That's why the RDLs are a little bit higher. On the RDL, remember, we're keeping our knees forward, slightly bent forward to the bar, pushing our hips back, extending the hamstrings, coming right below the knees, not all the way to the ground, and then standing back up. Those that may find they're a little bit more flexible, ladies in general, or especially, maybe you get up on a riser, a couple of plates or a plate to give you a little bit more clearance from the ground if you have to go down a little bit further. Goal here is to keep your back tight. Watch the slouching. As soon as you start slouching, you take tension off of your hamstrings. And then when we're done with that, guys, got a fun-filled, packed day today. 2.5-minute couch stretch on each side. Let's get after it. Let's get dirty. Let's have some fun. I can't wait to see the results from this. So good luck. Hit the ClassWOD when you get a chance. We'll catch you tomorrow.